Day has finally come. Having played through every entry up to this point, I can't wait to see how they change it. Innocents were stranded, sinners drowned in the depths, the damned vanished there. Great power was lost to man, and Mother Earth turned her back to the New World. Only the cursed king on his throne in the abyss remembers that golden age. Aside from the font, that is definite. That is the same. Yeah, the font. Oh, I'm not sure what the controls are, huh? Don't tell me it's... I have to figure out the key bindings before I can change them. I'll enter for that. Also, hey there, Alex, Noir, and Carl. Thank you for being here. Because all three of you will be conscripted. It actually means we should have a full party, assuming we have all the classes we need. Oh, yeah, thanks for letting me know. It's because I do game capture. Let me just do display capture for now. That way, at least we don't end up with that. Yeah. I switched to game capture because when I alt-tab, it doesn't go black for like 3 seconds on stream. But when we do a new game, I have to remember to change it, because it's looking for a specific window, and not just any full-screen application. You know, we're going to be playing this for a while. So I'm going to just take the opportunity to switch that right now. HD. And there we go. Yeah, it seems like we will be doing them in order. Initially, I was thinking of playing 3 first, because, you know, we've played Untold and Untold 2. 1 and 2 should be a bit familiar to you. But Alyssa wants to play through 3 blind. Gave me the recommendation to just play 1 at the start, and so that's what we will be doing. Now then, controls. Yeah. I do have my DualShock 3. I could play on that, but I think I'd like to do mouse and keyboard and see how that goes. Ah, that's unfortunate. Well, you can always get the originals with the perfectly legitimate digital edition. Oh, okay, so E and Q are your... You know what? I know what I should change those to, but let's just look at everything else first. So confirm is space. It's also enter. Cancels R, yeah, I'd use that. Zoom out, probably for the map. Menu tab, that's fine. Move tool. That's probably because it's mouse bound. Oh. And JKL used as a second control stick. Yeah, because we are one screen now. Oh, right, map sections. Wait, TGFH. That's directly next to WASD. What? Okay, so WASD, TGFH, and IJKL. Okay, they're using all the buttons. Alright, so the only things I see that I'd really want to change is slide left, if I can. He's unsupported. Oh, shit. Left shift isn't supported? Oh, I hope that gets patched. Oh, I guess I'll just have to get used to space, because space, I can rest my thumb on that. That's not too bad. But rather, I'd prefer it if it was E for confirm, R for back, left shift for slide left, and spacebar for slide right. I can also left click and right click, so that actually works too. Oh, max F. I'm not sure what max FPS would really do for this, but it's nice that they have it. Don't know. Anti-aliasing has been kind of hit or miss for me with games. Right, borderless, VSync on. As my monitor's refresh rate. Stream, I think, is at 30 FPS though, just because it saves bandwidth. Yeah, they do come from nowhere, because like the mods are tantalizing for Skyrim, but the base game itself just can never be remedied. Autosave setting this thing, and that should be fine. Button display auto detect. And we'll set up message speed later. Still surprised they have can set your frame rate though. Auto map. No, we're not going to auto map unless it's truly awful on mouse and key. How they've done it, I will not auto map. You now know I'm right-handed. Oh, really? Yeah, there's also the anti-aliasing stuff too. There tends to be more graphics options on PC just because there's a variety of hardware. Invert a horizontal camera. Oh, I might get that. Map and cursor position. Interesting. I'm not. I mean, I'll have to try it to know exactly what it is, but it looks like it's an offset from where you actually touch it, which is definitely interesting. Alright, now for this stuff. So, okay, auto battle speed, always set that to lightning. Yep, let's go with normal. Auto confirmation on. Command confirmation also on. These did not exist in the early games. So, oh boy. Battle message speed. I'll keep that at normal. Keep that in animation at normal. I might speed it up as we get late into the game, but I definitely want to know what the hell's going on at first. What's down? It had the same message for the DS. Ah, it didn't seem to go anywhere. Yeah, full auto mapping's a bit of a no. Also, given how hot it is, that it's like over 70 even though the AC's been on all day, I remember a long time ago setting up some noise suppression on the microphone, so I'm wondering if I have it on low fan, if you can really hear it. So then, let's give it a shot. Yeah, it seems like, I'm not sure if you can hear it while I'm talking, but it's not triggering the microphone. Which is very handy to remember. After changing language settings, characters entered by the player may not display properly. That makes sense. Text will display properly upon changing back to the original language. Well, not picnic, not basic. We're going to play on normal. You are, Essam, and Alyssa, and Noir, and Carl, and Alex, and also Manko, and myself. I mean, it's heroic. Heroic difficulty was just expert, except you could only enter heroic from the start. So people knew that you played on expert the entire time. Although there was no one I could show it off to, it was more for myself. And yes, the Guildian will be Ethra, as it always is. The guild members will be you all. For this is a conscription run. Yeah, you pick classes. I'm not gonna... If you want, you can choose a general build direction for a character, but I'm not going to do specific skill points, because that's just going to take too long going back and forth waiting for a response and asking what skills you want. And also the fact that in order for you to do well in Etrian Odyssey, you have to synergize your party members, and if you guys probably aren't coordinating that well. So you pick the classes, and if you want like a very, very broad build, but I'll handle all the specifics from there. One day, in the small isolated town of Etria, an underground forest was discovered. The Rada, governors of Etria, issued a proclamation throughout the continent. Any able-bodied adventurer was invited to investigate the forest and explore its depths. No matter how many came to investigate the dungeon, none gained the renown they sought. In Untold, they added Gunner from 2, and they added Highlander as a unique class. When we get to 2, yes, there's Gunner, but no, not in the original. As more adventurers tried and failed to conquer it, it came to be known by a new name, the Yggdrasil Labyrinth. You are the latest adventurer to journey to Etria in response to the Rada's proclamation. You have but one goal: explore the forest to win fame and fortune. Etria is at hand. Yeah, that was the very first time I tried having other people make my characters. I let them go down to the skill point allocation, and yeah, no. It was a challenge run for sure, but it's a bit too much of a challenge. And also, I do reserve the right to make more characters if we need them. Like, if all of you choose Ronin, we're gonna need a medic, so I reserve the right to then make a class we need. Haven't seen you? Excuse me if their voices change. I may forget what voices I gave them. Haven't seen you before. Take you came to check out the Yggdrasil Labyrinth? And welcome, friend. Not many guilds lately are admitting new adventurers. Short-sighted losers care too much about trifles to do any real investigation. If you got the guts, you should make a guild entirely for newcomers. There are loads of guys just sitting on their thumbs. Join any guild that take them. How about it? Gonna make a guild? No. Ha! Your mouth says no, but your eyes, they say yes. Just wanted to point that out. I've done that in the original too, it's the same dialogue. Oh yeah, the gimmicks, oh boy. I know where you're getting that idea from, Dessam. Alright, let's get started. Write what you want to call your guild in this ledger. Someday the world will know this name, so think carefully before choosing it. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, Mouse is gonna be nice. Not sure if it's as good as a stylist, but it's gonna be nice. Ithra, huh? Not a bad name. Now that you've got a guild, you'll need adventurers to fill it. I'm sure you've heard the name before. Of course, you can go to the labyrinth yourself. You've got the stones and register your own name as a member. More adventurers means more options open to you, and less of a chance of dying down there. Thinking about it for a while, and make sure you register a variety of classes into your guild. Alright, time for registering. Now, from what I heard with Alyssa in 3, you can choose any portrait for any class. And if it's the same in the first game, then, well, I'm gonna have a long time. And character portraits unlocked. Alright. That, for DLC. That's right, I did pre-orders. I do have these. All free. Yeah, you can choose any class, any portrait. Well... that's gonna be a while. Let's do other people first. Well, here's the thing, Desum. As long as you can get it before the 14th, you get it for free, and if it's after the 14th, you just have to buy it. Which is something I like about it. How they've done it. I mean, they don't mention that to you up front. Which... But... yeah, if you buy the game within the first couple weeks of release or pre-order, you get it for free. And if you miss that window, you just have to buy it. Yeah. Alright, so Mako, I remember going to be a troubadour, a Ronin, and we can't choose Ronin yet, so fuck. In which case he's gonna have to be his original pick. I'm doing Mako first because I know he's not able to be here. So we asked him about it beforehand. Alright. And Alyssa has already set theirs. Alright, portrait with the glasses? Yep, only one. I think you chose this one for the last time as well. And that Y is high. Oh, but it's only during that. Alright. Now then, who's next? Carl, if you're here, I know you're one of the first in chat along with Noir. But I know he tends to just say hi and then just go on podcast. So, Desum, if you're active, or Noir, if you're here. Whoever responds first. What, you want to be an alchemist? Yeah, he tends to do that. He catches, or at least tries to catch every stream, but he really only pops in to say hi and then just vanishes into the ether. Alright then, Desum, which class is you? Which class is you, and then which portrait is you? One that beats Survivalist. Now, remember, you can pick these 5 portraits, or any of the portraits we have, or the DLC. There's a lot to choose from. This one? There, server. Just want to be sure since there's a lot of classes. Alright. And if you'll note that chat delay on Desum responding to me, that's kind of why I'm saying no to skill point allocation, because imagine waiting that long for every singular skill point. Actually, I think... Oh, whoops. Yeah, there we are. Missed the owl. I hit spacebar for space, but that's not how it goes. Hunting in Monster Hunter... I don't know what the GU is. Haven't kept up with Monster Hunter. Alright, that's Decim, so now it's Noir. Oh, Generations Old. I feel like I've played that, or I might have that. There's like a couple of Monster Hunter games I have. Monster Hunter World was the latest entry I have. Hector, thank you. Next been put my PC game. You know what? I'm actually gonna try that with this name. I just kind of immediately assumed stylus controls because that's how it be. Ginger guy. Well, technically there's two ginger guys because you can see his tuft of hair. You could call that brown. I'd call that... Yeah, it's the same shade as this guy. So you want a chainmail coif or not? No coif. Alright. I guess I'll ask now, is your full name Noir the Rat or just Noir? Actually, yeah, I should try that. Nope. It is, in fact, not keyboard input on a mouse and keyboard. Noir? Alright. Don't know how we could... Nope. No, I'm not fully sure how we're... It's probably back, isn't it? Yeah, it's back. Alright, when I do self-inserts, I always end up doing a land sketch. But we will need a medic. We don't have a medic. I'll also end up wanting a Dark Hunter, but not early game. Maybe when we start to get to early mid-game. Yeah, we actually have a decent variety of classes already, which is really nice. Alright. In the meantime, I'll ponder which portrait I want, because I have used both male portraits for self-insert. But I know which one I like more, but I'm going to check out the others now, since I have options. And it is tempting to do Joker, since Alyssa brought that up. Actually, it's true. Could save it for that then. Yeah, I might use a protector portrait. Yeah, the DSR really... Oh, hey, Alex. But... Have you ever been scripted yet? No, I think it was, I forget her name, but I think she's from the game Soul Hackers. Yeah, you can really tell how much it's the same character artist for the 5th portrait, but you can really tell how much they've changed in like... How long has it been? 15 years? God, it's 15 years. You need a survivalist to heal. I'm not sure if survivalists can be healers in this. Their classes all kind of all over the place. And right now I'm just stuck between 5th portrait protector with the chain coif or pink armor lance snatch. Yeah, I'll go with consistency as well. There's not enough space for the full name. Alright. We have... No, I have not conscripted Alex yet. Alex, what is your class and what is your portrait? Oh, yeah, I remember what it is. I don't think I ever ended up using it though in my time in this game. Protectors also have a busted skill too. And from what I remember from pre-release interviews, they said they weren't going to touch the positively busted stuff, but they were going to fix the negatively busted stuff. No, you have to pick a class. Who are you? Are you a boy or are you a girl? Yay, all we're missing is Dark Hunter. Yeah, Hex and Running are locked until we get to a certain point. Number 5. Well, just keep in mind before you lock that in, you can pick any class as portraits. And also, there's the DLC portraits too. Just want to point that out before you lock yourself in. Alright, 5 mannequin is. We cannot fit in your full name. We are 1 character short unless we omit the space. I'm not sure it would look nice without the space though. Do we even need that? No, not really. You are just Alex. Actually, do you want it to be like that? If you want it to be Alex Banda like that, just Alex. I can probably rename for free. In the original game, I think it costs 500 Yen to rename a character or something. Go full, alright. Keep in mind, we do not have space for our space. Yeah, like, and they've reduced the costs in 3, I think. Like, as the series went on, they've reduced the costs, and then they just got rid of them. For the most part. I think resting... If I remember correctly, resting originally cost 10 levels. Then they reduced it to 5, and then to 2, and I think it's still at 2 today. Renaming costs like 1,000 Ental or something. And eventually they just did away with renaming cost, because, like, that has no gameplay benefit. Why are you charging for that? In lore, it makes sense, because you're changing the registry and the documentation, but, like, as a game, why are you charging for a name change? Alright, that looks like everyone who's here. Not Alex, Noir, Tessum, Alyssa. Mango's not here, myself, so that is 6. Gosh, I'm still... my mind's still thinking the emulator controls that I had set up. And I'm gonna have to take some pauses to unlearn. So I almost hit F for the status screen, but it's tab. It's tab now. Just like how it's EQ instead of shift and space. Alright. See, knowing what I know of the first game, definitely going to use myself and Noir and Alex Banda in the first party. Who the next 2 slots are, I'm not sure. Oh, hey, Carl. You finally done dodging the draft? Well, which class are you? You have been conscripted into the guild. Which class are you? You like chemistry? Alright, alchemist it is. Mine, you can choose any portrait from any class. And there's the 2 DLC portraits. Well, actually, chemistry could also be medic, couldn't it? That's true. And if you want to stretch it, it could mean Dark Hunter. You probably mean Alchemist. These are the 5 for the Alchemist class. These are the 2 DLC portraits. And this is basically... Again, you can pick any of these portraits. It is a lot of portraits. Alright, mini portrait. 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. I feel like you did, Desum. I think you did. I remember seeing that, and I think downloading it. Broad chin. That would be number 1. Alright. 5 characters, how much more is in your name? Oh, pixel art? I'm not sure if you posted pixel art then. We can go with Carl Clue if we really want to. Or just Carl. Or Clue Carl. Take your pick. Alright, our origins. With that, welcome to the guild. Now we have 2 medics. Yep, Alex Banda. Alright. Oh wait, never mind, that's not 2 medics. Sorry, I got my portraits mixed up. Because this is indeed the game where I can choose anything. So we have 2 alchemists now. One of them looks like a medic, which is going to confuse me for a little bit until I get used to it. Which actually is really nice. It's really nice that we have 2 alchemists. Because there's 3 element typings, and normally I'd have an alchemist. Yeah, 2 alchemists. Because there's 3 element types, and normally when you have 1 alchemist, you have them kind of spread between all 3, so they can hit any weakness no matter what. But if you have multiple alchemists, you could specialize them. Not sure that's a great idea though, but it's an option. No, palms were something I think they added in the Untold. Yeah, Carla, I mean, feel free to stick around and watch for a while. This is Etrian Odyssey. This is a game series I have been playing since 2011 on the DS, Dungeon Crawler, and they have re-released the original 3 on Steam and Switch with some slight changes. You know, increased resolution, they fixed some bugs, otherwise try to keep things the same, and just trying out how this will work on one screen, because the DS, you know, had the top screen and the touch screen, and now we don't have that, so alright, do that. Because, yeah, action-wise, it is turn-based combat and turn-based movement. As in, like, at least for movement, it's not like enemy turn, player turn type stuff like in a tactics game. It's you move at the same time. I always go Breton or Imperial. Though my first character was Redguard because they had adventure in the description. That's true. Have you tried using a DS stylus? I hear those are good. Alright. Let's go with skill descriptions. Oh, that's also true. That is a very nice perk to have. Yeah, Bretons get reduced magic damage across the board, but they really nerfed it in Skyrim. It was half damage in Oblivion, but then it's just a quarter damage reduction in Skyrim. Imperials, it's just a little bit more gold, which kind of adds up over time, but nothing really. I have never heard Etrian Odyssey be described that way, Decim, but I also can't disagree with that. It is inspired by wizardry, if you've ever played that. Alright, original Alchemist had poison skills. I don't know how good they were, because I think they were kind of bad in the first iteration. Which means they might be good now. It sounds like they might have buffed the bad stuff and left the good stuff alone. Now, Scavenge will be kinda helpful. Not necessary though. TP regen's also nice to have. But at the same time I remember it being kinda costly to get. Oh, we can't act. Oh right, this is just a list of skills, it's not the actual skill tree. Oh, it's not pressure based? Anywho, we have the actual fire skills. Those descriptions are less descriptive than they were in the past, huh? Conjure forth fire to attack the enemy. Conjure forth flame to attack the enemy. Conjure forth an inferno to attack the enemy. Yeah, they used to have some keywords in there to tell you what it would target, and if I recall correctly, fire was single target, inferno was all target, and flame was probably also all target, to be frank. But when they added row mechanics in the 4th game, flame became splash damage. And freeze was pierce damage, and thunder was line damage. Served at any heals. Let's go check that out. Let's see what other skills, because like survivalists they kind of rework with every game. Honestly, every single entry they just rework the classes if they reuse it. If it has the same name in portraits, it's not the same class mechanically. Just keep that in mind. From what I remember of first game's survivalists, they were pretty low in damage. Yes, they had bows, they were the dedicated archers, or they could be, but they still had low damage output, because I think it was that bows scaled with strength, and survivalists have low strength and high agility, and I think in the Untolds they made bows scale with agility, so they can actually do damage. So then what do you want survivalists for? Well, they are the only class that has chop, mine, and take skills. So they can farm for you, and they have some good exploration skills. However, they also have... where was it? That lowers enemy accuracy... Aware ambush... Fallen Stalker? It had some evasive skills in the first game. Maybe it was the second game. In some of the games they had like, it was really risky and required high investment, but like survivalists could genuinely be an evasion tank. Might not be in this iteration though. This might just be archer and exploration support. Which, trust me, is well desired and appreciated, because having chop, mine, take all in one character is fantastic, because you can have 4 people then that are dedicated to combat and 1 person to gathering, instead of having to have your combat team also spend skill points on gathering stuff. Yeah, there was also one iteration of Survivalist where they got to boost the effective items, which made them the best healers in the game, as long as you had the funds and the items to support that. That doesn't quite seem to be the case though. So we have, of course, our stat ups, we got bows, ambush, chance for enemy preemptive attacks, which can be quite useful. First hit. Oh, that's a passive. Yeah. For the enemy's action with evasive footwork, that's action debuff. Speed buff, which extremely niche corner cases you'd want speed buff or debuffs. And shouts enemy target use, that reduces your attack. Unless this cloak is the evasion buff for yourself. Escape. It raises defense at high levels, what the hell? First turn. Yeah. Act first, basically. Then we have the bow skill, so we have true shot, so that's single target. Multi-hits also, it's either single target or random target. One of the two. Wait, does it act? Becomes 3 hit at level 10? Oh, that's pretty late in the progression. Yeah, I remember multi-hit being able to do decent damage if all the arrows hit the same target. That was when it was random target. If it actually all hit the same target, then it's just going to be alright. Disable, yes, leg bind, which can help. It's just leg bind. It'd be nice if you had access to all the binds. But it still is leg bind. Because there are a lot of it. If an enemy still uses their hind legs or their tail, leg bind. That will disable it. If it's their forelegs, arms, and if it's their head, then head bind. And I'm not sure if it's this game, but there are some games where there are enemies with a lot of nasty tail skills, so leg bind is not to be underestimated. Also disables evasion, so if you have low accuracy stuff, that works. Apollon, if this is the same scaling as it was originally, it's actually not a good skill. Like, yeah, it does massive damage, but because of the 3-turn delay, the damage per turn comes out to something bad. And again, we don't actually know what the stat scaling is behind the scenes yet for this. My ally, track our foes. I don't really get what the purpose of this skill is. Like, it's kind of just alright, you use this and I can see all of those across the entire map, but that only really even had use when they introduced Fog of War, and I think they introduced Fog of War in the Untolds? I don't think 4 had Fog of War. 1 through 3 did not have Fog of War on the map. So Ally still existed in the first 3 games, as you can see, but really questionable benefit. Stalker reduces enemy encounter rate. So yeah, you have some bow skills and some evasion and speed related skills, but it's stuff that would seem most useful would have to be Chop, Mine, Take, Stalker, Aware, Ambush, and your probably first turn if you actually want to have some synergy, but I have to plan around that. Like, really plan around first turn. Otherwise, it's just, you know, general stuff. True Shot, Multi-Hit, Disable, Chop, Mine, Take. And stuff to negate enemy ambushes. Oh, that's an easy way to get a game over. Again, I hit spacebar to tab to the right. Hey, it's Protector next. So again, we have HP up, Def up, TP up, so basic stuff, Shield Mastery, Aegis! I'll survive with 1 HP. If this scaling is the same as I remember, it's a 30% chance at level 10. Enemies get the same target multiple times, same modifier. Yep, if it's the random target, then yeah. So that should be decent against foes. Because of the random hit nature, they aren't going to gimp the damage per arrow too much. Because multi-hit, it will be less damage per arrow than, like, firing, say, Power Shot, but if they both hit the same target, it should be a lot more damage. It's just if they hit the same target, which will happen if there's only one target. Though it was also expensive, wasn't it? I don't remember Survivalists having a big TP pool. On Guard sounds really nice, but I forget what the activation rate was. This is the chance to auto-defend, which will... I'm thinking of parry right now. I think On Guard's just having incoming damage. Oh right, Defend. Defend in the early games, I don't even know if they changed it, I'm kind of hoping they do, only reduced physical damage. Elemental damage could not be defended against. In late game, it's just all elemental damage. Yeah, it's expensive. But also, that is decent damage. Well, there's the attack. Well, when you're giving commands to your party members, you can order them to defend, which will have them do nothing that turn, but they take half damage. Now, EOU by that point should have elemental damage, but in the early games it did not have elemental damage. You got full damage. No, not front and back guard, I mean the defend option. As an attack defend skill. The defend option. That only reduced physical damage and not elemental in the early games. Kinda hoping they change that, because otherwise defend is really not worth it. Provoke, bring my attention to you. This one's always kind of risky, because of how high damage you can get. Incoming damage, that is, Provoke is risky to do. But if you can take using Provoke, then it is quite helpful, especially in random encounters. In boss fights, a little less, given the area damage, but it's a lot of single target attacks. Provoke is nice. Yes. No, seriously, they do that with every single Etrian Odyssey. This is probably the first game where they have the same skill set as they used to. Because between 1 and 2, same classes, totally different skill sets. 3 had totally different classes, 4 had like one with the same name, Land Snatch, but that was completely different class altogether. 5 also different classes. Untold was, again, reused classes, but totally different skill sets. 2U had totally different skill sets. Like, War Magus was actually good in 2U. War Magus in the original 2 was absolute garbage. Yeah, I could. As far as the absolute garbage part, I remember investing into War Magus's healing skills, original 2, and maxed it out, and it was 5 hit points. Non-stat scaling. 5 hit points. In a game where you start off with 100 or so hit points and take like 60 per attack. Then you go to 2U and your War Magus is doing like 2,000 damage per turn and healing you for like 300. Pretty crazy. War Magus wasn't even the strongest class in 2U. But damn, they fixed War Magus in 2U. Flee, which... that should be a useful exploration skill. I don't think I ever really got it, because I'd rather, you know, I tend not to flee from combat. I intend just to tough it out, and if it's really too tough for us, we go back to an earlier floor, grind out levels and equipment until the next floor isn't so hard. But if you are the type for which running is on the table, flee is a good skill to have, because I think this was a guarantee. Actually, I don't think it was a guaranteed escape chance, but it was really high, and in some games it was guaranteed from level 1. Parry! Yeah, so this is just physical attacks. And I forget if it's just yourself or the front line, or the whole party, but regardless, you get to negate physical attacks, but every successful parry reduces the chance for further parries in that turn. So chain parrying is a very rare event. Fortify. Now, if they haven't changed this is the skill. Actually, not Fortify. It's Defender. Defender's the one to get. Because Defender was a crazy strong buff for physical defense. They nerfed it in future games, and in Untold, Defender is just like a 30% increase to physical damage, but here, I don't remember what the number is. I just remember if you use Defender, you don't need any other skills. I'm not even sure if you need the walls. You know how important the walls are. If you've gotten to post-game in Etrian Odyssey, you know how important the walls are, and I'm not sure you need the walls with Defender. Front guard and rear guard, these are your basic skills. A skill that may take damage in the front lines of place, that wording might be deceptive, because this should be just damage reduction to that line, but this makes it sound like the protector takes damage in their place, which there were skills that do that in later games. And we have the walls, which is just initially damage reduction against that element, but eventually level 5 becomes nullity and then turns into drain. Hold on. Stacy TP cost 8. What the hell? That's been buffed. I distinctly remember these walls. Maybe it was the second game. Which game was it? So, the walls, how they were initially is, yes, it was level 5 you'd null, level 6 you'd drain, but the TP cost would spike up. You went into drain territory, and we kind of keep climbing. But there was one game where it'd be like, okay, like 6 TP to null the attack, level 6, 20 TP to drain it 20%, and then each level would just kind of reduce the cost afterwards. So it was like, you either stop at level 5 or you stop at level 10. And you don't stop anywhere in the middle. Because, my god, cost. But this is a fixed cost of 8 TP. It gets to 8 TP at null and then it just stays at 8 and you just drain more and more. Which means it's actually worthwhile to go to level 10. Hey, Smite, so here's your shield attack. Your only shield attack now that I look at it. Hey, in other games they had a couple of shield attacks and weren't really supposed to use a protector for offense, but they still had the option. I do have Cure 2, though. I don't really get where Cure 2 comes in, but hey. And they have Stalker 2 in mine. So yeah, they can do a little bit of healing, a little bit of shield bashing. Oh, and also has a chance to bind, but it's going to be low because it's mostly a damage ability. But maybe they buff the arm bind rate, who knows. But yeah, mostly you're going to want a defender, the walls, and at the start you're going to get front guard, because, you know, damage reduction. Hey, Land Snatch. Alright, so Land Snatch has two main builds, because they have two different weapon masteries, Axes and Sword Mastery. I aim 2-hit. Normal hits have a chance of hitting twice. Now when I first saw this, I went straight for it. This normal attack build is an awesome concept, but that caps out at a 50% chance, which is not worth it. Yeah, according to EOU. We'll see how it performs here in EOHD. Remember, in 2 Untold, and only in 2 Untold, you could use Grimoires to have a 2-hit level 10 on top of your 2-hit level 10. And they would combine, give you a 100% chance to double hit with every normal attack. Combine that with, in 2 Untold, you also had a crit rate boosting stuff, so you have guaranteed crits. And then you put on top of that a prelude, an elemental prelude, and you have 900% damage for free. Which is awesome, until you consider you can get like 3000% damage for a little bit of TP in that game, because freaking power scaling. Power creep in 2U was crazy. Anywho, that is 2-hit Warcry though. Oh yeah, it's a buff skill. So this is actually a very strong buff skill because it has a debuff associated with it. Yeah, I do too, Alex. Prelude should be in the game. Let's actually do a quick check. Let's see, so we're looking for Menko. Looks like they... Yeah, they changed the name. It's not Preludes, but they are there. We have Blaze, Shock, Frost, and Shock that perform the same thing. Now, hopefully they behave the same as it did in the first game, because in the first game, these were actually busted. And I forget exactly how they were busted. I just remember they were used to do some ridiculous damage at even low levels. Yeah, probably it's the same description. So, how these skills work is they impart an element onto your normal attacks. Or rather, they impart an element onto your weapon attacks, which is something to be very specific about, because when you have a skill that says it deals cut damage, it does cut damage. It's not attacking your weapon, you are just doing cut damage. Even if it technically you're attacking with a sword, if the skill doesn't say attacking with the equipped weapon, it's doing just the damage type that's listed, which is why these skills that add elements to your equipped weapon aren't so great in practice, because they don't apply to most of your skills, which is where most of your damage comes from. It's really just a normal attacks, realistically. There are some skills that have attack with equipped weapon, in which case these apply, and they can be built around for that. That's just the obvious use of these. Less obvious use is that they have a hidden damage bonus to them. That's just a straight multiplier to whatever damage you're doing, and that applies regardless of what attack you're using. Normal attack, skill, item even, it just gets multiplied. Yeah, plus 14%. So, that's just missing entirely from the skill description. And I don't remember the exact interactions, because I wish I could explain this in more detail. but using a prelude with a throwable item, like a Volt Jar, could do some absurd damage, like 500 damage to a Volt-resistant enemy. And I forget how that interaction works. I just know that you can use the preludes to do some ridiculously busted damage. Of course, there's 3 of them, which means it's a high skill point investment because they each take 10 skill points to max, so kinda just want to pick one and max it out so you have the generic damage buff that's hidden inside of it. And then just whatever element you feel like. Back to Land Snatch skills. Warcry, Hellcry. Lower defense and max HP in return for greatly strengthened attack. I forget how strong Hellcry is. I know Warcry was always considered strong, because I think it was like a 50% attack buff, which is really high in this game. Like your standard max level attack buff or defense buff is like 20%, maybe 30% for one that's dedicated to it. It's like 50% attack buff. I think you now have a point of reference for how strong that is, but it's like a 30% defense debuff, which, if you're playing your party right, won't be an issue at all, because you will have the boss on lockdown or your party just immune to everything. One of the two. Yeah, Rheumatic is great because they data mined all of the games that they did Let's Plays of, but they did not do Let's Plays of every entry. So we don't have the data mining for every single game. Or do we? At least not on Rheumatic. We might have the data mining elsewhere, though. Arm heal is neat. Oh my god, nothing. At least there's nothing. Learn skill, cost 2 TP. Nothing, nothing, nothing. TP cost lower to 1. Nothing, 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 nothing. TP cost lower to 0 at level 10. Okay. Okay. Remember they reworked this in U so that it actually healed HP, not just Armbind. I guess level 1 and that's it, that's nice to know. But yeah, Land Snatch skills should be using almost entirely arms. Might be a couple that use the legs, but it's like that the majority are arms, so arm heal is going to be neat to have to, you know, recover yourself. Of course, you should be leaving it to your medic to specialize in recovering things, but you know, in case. We have Flee 2 here. Again, not really going to use that. And where did I get the stat numbers from? So I know I got the exact skill stuff for EO for Untold 2. So I remember doing the theory graphing back then. And there's like the 2 numbers that stand out, which was the again, it was the double attack build I said with the prelude on there. Maybe it was just double attacks by itself, but that was like 900%. So you had guaranteed crits and everything. And then there was the War Magus's ailment slice, ailment cut. The one that just does pure damage against an enemy with an ailment. Or a bind. And that was like 2000% multiplier. Just fucking bonkers. Then I saw the multipliers for other high ordnance skills and it just pales in comparison. 2000% is fucking nothing. That's good. We would definitely be at a loss if the skill sims not have the skill data. Sword skills, there's Cleaver, which is just... Actually, what did they call this in the original games? I do not have a charged DS with me. Actually, my DSs are in a completely separate room of the house right now. Charged or not. I can't actually check. but that definitely had a different name from Cleaver. Raging Slash, or Raging Cut. One of the two. It was Raging something, but same skill, a single target attack, deals decent damage. In fact, at level 10, I think it had a huge damage spike. It was like 360% damage and just like 900% damage, which I know I just went through 2U with the whole double attack build that does 900% damage every turn for 0 TP. It's just normal attacks. But that was with 2U numbers. In Etrian Odyssey numbers, in the first game, we're talking like 300% is a strong hitter. And then Cleaver goes like, shoots from like 300 something percent up to 900 at level 10. From 9 to 10, it was crazy. Oh, there's no skills in for one. Ooh, that's gonna make finding data for these a lot tougher, huh? Anyhow, that's Cleaver. Tornado was splash damage, actually. This might be the only splash damage skill in the game, unless Alchemist has splash damage attacks. I don't think they did. Because, remember, front and back line weren't a thing until 4. So this should just be a whole cohesive group of monsters, so it's just either you attack one monster, or all the monsters, or random monsters, and Tornado is unique in being splash damage. Which means it's not fantastic single target. I think it was a bit higher than Cleaver at lower levels, but higher levels just kind of falls off. Yeah, the thing is why Tornado falls off is this is kind of like an early to mid-game skill that you get before you have All Slash, which used to be called Falcon Slash. Because this is a random target skill, but it hits 2 to 4 times. And I think the min hit should increase. Okay, so it looks like it's... So probably just 2, then 50% chance of 3-hit attack, then may hit 4 times, then it's just 50% chance 4-hit attack, and that's it, so... I don't know what the min hit is on this, that skill description wasn't terribly helpful. Which is kind of a theme in Etrian Odyssey. The skill descriptions really give you only the barest information. Well, that depends. You are an alchemist, so there are a few ways to go ahead and build you. And I'm just explaining skills right now, so we have an idea of what the classes do for those of us who aren't familiar. Yeah, All Slash is actually pretty good. Because it cannot hit the same enemy twice. That is something important to note. Although All Slash can hit 4 times, it will not hit the same enemy 4 times. It can only hit up to 4 enemies. That makes it amazing at crowd clearing. So it does like a lot of high damage, and look, it's a like skill on an arm skill. And that's why Tornado falls off, because like you have Cleaver for single target, and Tornado is supposed to be splash damage, which is halfway between single target and crowd clear. All Slash is just full-on crowd clear, and Cleaver is full-on single target, so Tornado falls in this awkward middle ground where it's not really good enough at anything to be useful. Then we have the Chasers, which do use the same names. So this is if... I forget if you have to choose an enemy or not. Some iterations, you just kind of choose the skill and then you'll follow every single attack. While other ones you have to choose a specific enemy and you only follow attacks to that enemy, but basically, you use Blazer, an enemy gets hit with a fire attack. Doesn't have to be a fire spell, doesn't have to be a fire, doesn't have to be any type of thing, as long as it's heart fire damage. Blazer will activate and you will come in with a cut fire attack. And this can activate repeatedly. I think it has a decaying activation chance, just like parry. But that decaying activation chance should reduce with level ups, and I'm not sure if it's going to say that or if it even does. In some games it does reduce with level ups, so at level 10 it's like it doesn't decay at all. You can just chase after every single attack. So these, and Freezer and Shock are the same thing but for Ice and Volt. these can be amazing. If you really build for a multi-hit elemental attack type party, these are spectacular, but if it's the same skill tree as the first game, these require like 50 skill points just to unlock, which is fucking ridiculous. Oh. Like, you get them way too late in the game to really try them out. Then we have the axe skills, which are used more like a hammer. So we have single target, and single target. It's all single target, but different stuff. So we have crush, it's just single target, and stunner, which can stun them. Big shocker. Stun, if you stun an enemy or get stunned, you lose your action for that turn, which means it has no effect if you've already acted on that turn. So, given axes and land ascensions already have low speed, stunners of dubious use. Silencer, though, gives you a chance of a headbind, which I don't think is particularly high for Land Snatch. They don't really have the stats for it. If I remember correctly, you want luck and maybe agi for bind rates. Definitely luck, though. I think luck played a pretty big role. Must have changed the formulae from this. Later games, that was the formulae, where I think it was agi for offensive binds and luck for defensive, but they both played a role. It was just agi was the primary stat for offensive ailments, with luck being a secondary stat, and they just flipped for defending. But in the first games, I think it was just luck. So Silencer's also kind of iffy. So axes are... they do crush damage, I think. So it's different type from swords that do cut. They're slower, but they do hit harder. So it's overall a bit of a less versatile package than the sword. But the Blazer, Freezer, and Shocker can be used by both weapons. So you can build a chaser with an axe. So really it's just, you want really heavy single target damage with the axe, or do you want to have versatile single and all target attacks with the sword? And I almost always go with the sword. I mean, it's a swordsman, what are you gonna do? This is the suplexing someone. Is there even... there are grappler classes in later entries, but here we have pretty basic ones. As far as suplexing goes... As you can tell by the pause, nothing gets close to a suplex, but if you want to approximate it, I don't know, maybe Smite, maybe Dark Hunter. Skill-wise, alright, then let's just skip to you then. Carl, you're Alchemist. I think I've already gone over this. Got 3 elements, Fire, Ice, and Volt. They have their skills. I also have Poison in here. A little bit of support skills. Oh no, you're not a protector. So yeah, we have 4 different specialties: Fire, Ice, Volt, and Poison. And again, with Fire, we just have single target. I forget if Flame is single or all target. Inferno is definitely all target. Same deal with Ice and Volt type spells. And Poison, which is just single target, poison the enemy, and then poison all the enemies. Thor is the strongest. Thunder is stronger than Bolts. So, even looking at it, yeah. So Ice, Freeze, then Cook. Should be Cocutus is the pronunciation, but I think that's missing a letter. And Volt, Thunder, Thor. Fire, Flame, Inferno, and those are the orders of their... or rather, within the same element, the order, ascending order damage. So Volt does the least, but it also costs the least TP. Now we have Thunder's in the middle, and Thor's up top, but it's also an all-target attack, so... single target, I didn't actually end up going with Volt for TP efficiency. Conjure Forth Voltage to attack the enemy, Conjure Forth Lightning to attack the enemy, Conjure Forth Divine Thunder to attack the enemy, which, if you want to construe that as something that is technically a smite. Okay, so Carl wants to be a Thunder Alchemist. Let's see how useful that is. So having an alchemist specialized into a single element can be useful with a party of multiple alchemists, or for a specific enemy, but in general you kind of want to spread around, but that does mean you generally can't master every spell. Well, for now, even though I think I've only gone through like 3 or 4 of the classes, I'll just get to assembling a party. So, Man Snatch, Vector, Decim Medic? Double check. Nope, Spiralist. Alex was the medic. Well, Carl, you gain 1 skill point per level up, and the max level is 70, and it takes 10 points to master a skill, and there's 9 elemental skills, not ignoring the mastery. Actually, if you include the mastery skills, there's 4, which means you need 120 skill points to master everything, and you have 70 points to spend. And that's at max level. At right now, you have 3 points. I mean, here, let's just take a good stroll down. So that's 10, 10, 10. That one's 5. Toxins is 5, so that's nice. 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. So again, 1 point per level. And we have, well, I think you can do some rough math. Yeah, you're either speccing into an element, or you're just gonna generalize. Alright. Now, again, these 3 I know will be here for the first floor, because in the first floor we don't have TP to really use skills, and enemy damage is still going to be pretty high. And we don't have the money to really give us some decent armor. And do we really start off with 1000 N? Because we definitely start off at 500 N in the original, I think. I think they doubled that. Unless you do start off with 1000 in the first game. I know in 3 you start out at 500. Like, you can equip like 2 people fully, or your whole party with like a dagger and some shoes. You have a tough choice to make. Sounds magnetized. Yeah, whenever I have an alchemist, it's not till like post-game and fooling around that I end up doing a multi-alchemist party, but with just one I end up generalizing, because you want to hit their weakness. I'm glad you have found that skill sim, because I don't know if it'll be useful for HD, because they should have tweaked some skills, but should be a decent guideline. As I was saying, we don't really have TP to use our skills, let alone the skill points. So we kinda need to pick people who are just good with raw stats. So Decim, you're going in. That's for sure, because you can use a bow from the back. So, fifth person. And go Alyssa or Carl. Because all three of you are backliners, and I'd really like to have a frontliner. But this is what we have. I don't think this is enough of a need to warrant using my right to create characters. Alright, so Troubadour could have a bow. Actually, Alchemist probably. We have two Alchemists, Alyssa and Carl. Ooh. Which one of you gets to stay back home? Yeah. Yeah. Monk was really good, both offensively and in healing. Oh no, not really. The punch skills for Monk, actually, I'm not sure they're top tier damage per turn in 3. They don't fall off. They don't. You just have to keep investing in the fifth skill. It just scales really well. Like, I don't know how it compares to the ultimate weapons, but maxing the fist mastery skill should put your monk's fists on par with, like, the end game or late game weapons. But you don't have a weapon, which saves you a lot on costs. For sure. I think in honor of Carl actually watching stuff, let's use Carl. Okay. Go to custom. Custom menu, you can spend skill points to learn new skills. In this game, for each level you gain, you earn only 1 skill point, as I had said. The level cap is 70. Some of us know some hidden secrets about that, but we're not going to say it. Use them wisely, either to strengthen existing skills or to learn new ones. Here's the skill tree. And as you can see, oh, all slash is really up there. Wait, what? Laser and freezer sword only skills? Holy fuck, there might be sword only skills. Oh, that means axes are kind of stunted, aren't they? Oh, that's not what I remember. Oh, that's just another reason to pick swords. Oh, I need 2 hits to learn all slash? I have a feeling they rearranged this. My gut's telling me they rearranged the skill tree, but I'm not 100% certain. Ugh. Well, that is a reason to pick Tornado then. It's a skill point deficiency, because you need Axe Mastery 5 to get 2 hit in there. Level 3 to then learn all slash. I am curious how Hellcry is stronger than Warcry. So it is lower defense and HP in return for an attack buff. Warcry should also be a line buff and not just a single target, unless it's a party buff. That'd be a party buff, because they didn't really do line stuff until 3 was when they experimented with a lot of line stuff with Hoplite. the whole switch guard, but 4 is when they actually started to come into its own with how enemies had lines as well as your party. Arm heal, not at the beginning. Not at the beginning. Alright. Fat Cleaver is unlocked. Where do I put the next point? I kind of want to get Arm Heal just to get that out of the way, but I know we don't really need it. Mine would be good to have at this point, but probably not the first floor. Passive skills, I remember not being terribly strong. Because they are passive, but I think it can be as little as 1% extra damage per level in these. Or it could actually be a decent chunk, it could be like 20% or even 30% or something. But it's never like a huge amount.